JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before I get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and to share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. Expect increased rainfall across Jamaica this weekend. Jamaicans are being urged to prepare for increased rainfall over the weekend as unstable weather conditions are expected to affect the island. According to the Met Service, a broad trough will linger across the region over the next few days, bringing periods of showers and thunderstorms to several parishes. Additionally, a tropical wave is forecast to move across Jamaica by Friday afternoon, further influencing weather patterns. By afternoon and into the evening, the island should expect mostly cloudy skies with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms in several areas. For Saturday and Sunday, mornings are expected to be partly cloudy, followed by increased cloudiness, scattered showers, and isolated thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening hours, particularly across southern and northwestern parishes. Police seek Portland man accused of attempting to abduct UTech student. Police have launched a manhunt for a Portland resident accused of attempting to abduct a female University of Technology UTech student in downtown Kingston on Sunday morning. Reports indicate that around 11 a.m., the 20-year-old student met with the suspect, someone she reportedly knew, at South Parade. She entered his vehicle, which later traveled along King Street. According to investigators, the student told the man she was ready to leave for work and attempted to exit the vehicle. However, he reportedly drove off, injuring her feet in the process, before pulling her back inside and speeding away. A struggle ensued, during which the student managed to jump from the moving car near Kingston High School. She sustained multiple injuries and was taken to hospital for treatment. The incident was later reported to the police. One dead, 16 rescued after fishing vessel catches fire off Jamaica's south coast. A tragic incident at sea today left one man dead and 16 others rescued after their fishing vessel caught fire off the coast of Jamaica. According to reports, shortly before midday, the Jamaica Defense Force JDF Coast Guard ship HMJS Norman Manley spotted a vessel engulfed in flames approximately 40 nautical miles south of Portland Point. The Coast Guard quickly activated firefighting measures, using the Norman Manley as a fireboat to batter the blaze. At the same time, a smaller rescue craft was deployed to search the surrounding area, where 16 survivors were discovered on 3 small canoes. The rescued fishermen, who included 9 Dominicans and 8 Jamaicans, were brought aboard the patrol vessel, provided with water, and later transported to the mainland for medical evaluation. Unfortunately, a 17th crew member is believed to have drowned during the ordeal. The JDF is urging members of the public and mariners along the south coast to stay alert for any signs of missing persons and to report any sightings to the Jamaica Rescue Coordination Center, JRCC Kingston, at 876-976-8193 or 876-836-1216. The JRCC operates 24 hours daily, coordinating maritime and aeronautical search and rescue operations across Jamaican waters. Not all police accounts of fatal shootings are true, says Indicom. Deputy Commissioner of the Independent Commission of Investigations, Indicom, Hamish Campbell, has raised serious concerns about the credibility of some police statements following fatal shootings during planned operations. Campbell says he remains unconvinced by certain official accounts, suggesting that for the police version to be entirely accurate in every case, every single witness would have to be lying.
Well, is it a lack of confidence by us in the operation? Yeah, well, yes. I think that's fairly plain. I'm not sure that one has full confidence that every account provided by the JCF in these shootings is accurate. And as we've said in the report, one has to then go to the position that every single person, the citizen, the non-police witnesses, are lying. They've made up this from Montego Bay to Morant Bay. And for all these shootings, and the same account is provided by the forces of law against the citizens. And there is something, as we say, there's something probably inherently implausible that every single witness has made up their testimony or given false testimony, and that what they say and what they witness is just a lie.
In its latest special report, Indicom highlighted what it called an alarming trend, a more than 500% increase in civilian deaths during planned police operations over the past 5 years. The data show that in 2019, only 12% of fatal encounters with security forces occurred during planned operations, but that figure surged to 52% in 2025. Campbell is questioning both the tactics and planning methods used in these operations, noting that many of the resulting deaths appear to be preventable.
Our report identifies a number of cases where, having been confronted, having submitted to the police domination quite correctly, they are not controlled and they are left in the same room as the police officers who then conduct a search or move around. And it is then reported that the individual, free to move, recovers a gun from a drawer, under a towel, from some clothing, and then seeks to confront the 4 or 5 police officers in the room. And of course, is then shot and killed in self-defense. Cannot be right that officers have placed themselves at risk of further danger of these dangerous men, and these are preventable deaths, these are avoidable, and the right to life extends an ongoing duty to both the police officer by police command and the citizen.
He also cautioned that the Jamaica Constabulary Force's recent acquisition of additional body-worn cameras will have little impact if they're not strategically deployed in high-risk areas where accountability is most needed.
But unless and until the cameras are put on the very units which are now contributing to over half of all fatalities, I don't know if that will necessarily help reduce the numbers. That's what we want. We want that transparency, and everyone should want the transparency in these events, because policing is about policing society and communities, and the considerable voice and concern and upset in what now half of all these shootings is that what they're being told and what we're being told is not accurate. And that's why everyone recognises the efforts done by the Commissioner of Police and his team to get more body-worn cameras. But if they're not put onto the teams which are engaged in these operations, that won't actually solve the problem. They're not engaged in fatal shootings in anything like the way the organised operational teams are.
While emphasizing that Indicom will not seek to direct police operations, Campbell said the oversight body cannot ignore the troubling frequency of fatal police shootings, which he described as far from normal.
No, I mean, we're certainly not dictating, telling, instructing the JCF, and never have done. But we are, as an oversight body, oversight's not meant to be convenient. Parliament asked and wanted an independent oversight body to examine and oversee the very state function which has the powers it does. And so we are making recommendations, and on the evidence and material we have, just one of many avenues which might provide better reassurance to the public is to place the cameras on those officers who are going into these properties.
Police warned public against hiding missing children amid search for 12-year-old Jaden Smith. The Manchester police are reminding the public that it is a criminal offence to hide or conceal the whereabouts of missing children as the search continues for 12-year-old Jaden Smith. Deputy Superintendent Dennis Simpson, the division's crime officer, issued the warning on Friday morning while speaking with reporters during a search of Jaden's family home and the surrounding areas in Wales, Newport, Manchester. Members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force's Specialized Operations, K9 Unit, Missing Persons Desk, Newport Police, among others, roam the area. However, Jaden is yet to be found.
Any word to those who maybe, just by chance, harboring him?
Yes, it is an offense. It's an offense to be harboring Jaden without reporting this to the police to assist our efforts in finding him. So if you are doing so, please desist.
Person, please.
I am Deputy Superintendent Dennis Simpson, officer in charge of criminal investigations for the Manchester Police Division.
DSP Simpson, you're here with your team this time in Wales District. Any particular reason you have targeted this area today?
Yes, we're here in Wales. Today makes 2 weeks since Jaden Smith of the Manchester High School was reported missing. Over the period, we'd have exhausted a lot of efforts in locating Jaden. There were several sightings reported to the police. We would have exhausted all these sightings. All these efforts so far came up futile. Today, we're just extending our efforts in Wales District, Newport, where Hayden resides. We have support, drone support. Today, we have support from the cadaver dogs. We are just using all the resources available to us in advancing our efforts in locating Jaden.
Any new information that you're pursuing, even if you don't want to disclose what that is?
On a day-to-day basis, information comes into us, which we have exhausted, and we are also of the view that persons are relating information that is not true. There are a lot of pranks coming in, so I want to use this medium just to advise the public not to make prank call. This is a very serious matter, So we are here today just, elevating our efforts in locating Jaden.
All right. What happens for the rest of the day and for your search generally?
We'll continue. We'll leave no effort unturned until, we locate Jaden. And Jaden, if you are out there, I just want you to come into the police, come into your relatives. They are concerned. And I want to implore the public, if there's anyone out there who knows the whereabouts of Jaden, just to cooperate with us so, the relatives can unite with him and be happy again.
Health Minister warns of growing social media addiction among Jamaicans. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton is raising concerns about the rising levels of social media addiction and its impact on mental health among Jamaicans. Speaking against the backdrop of increasing reports of anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges, Dr. Tufton urged citizens to examine their online habits, noting that many people are unaware of their dependency on constant digital engagement.
I don't think that at this point I could, certainly not on my own, advocate for a ban on social media. What I think is necessary, though, is for a recognition by the society that it can be addictive and that there are certain controls, particularly when it comes to young people, children in the homes, in terms of what they access. As you know, there are possibilities around restrictions based on the device that you use and the parameters that are adjusted, the settings. And there are many people who do that. Beyond that, it really is your own self-discipline and self-awareness. From the government's perspective, I think we have to start with the awareness that it's not just about entertainment or even information. It can lead to influences and indeed can create challenges. I mean, I've seen on social media where people trying just to make a post popular harm themselves in significant ways, even dying. People jumping out of planes and all sorts of things. So there is no doubt, I don't think it's debatable, that social media is a double-edged sword. And what we have to do is to get the society to recognize its potential ills, even while accepting the positives on it. I guess the future will determine whether the issue of how you restrict from a government policy perspective would have to be dealt with. I do believe that some sites should be restricted. The question is how you manage that. Well, as I said, I think that you have to balance between the right of persons to choose and to have information and access to their device and what they access on the device against what serves the greater good of the population and the society. And I think it starts with informing people about what the ills potentially are. And I think we have to do a better job at it, because I don't agree that many people think that social media is addictive. I am saying it now. And we all, to some extent, perhaps practice it and don't even realize it. And I think one of the first things we need to do is to challenge persons to think about whether or not they should turn off their phones at 9 o'clock and go to bed, because rest is more important than being on the, I don't want to call any names, the various platforms until the wee hours of the morning, and then don't get enough sleep, and then the next day you're stressed out and tired and can't drive the vehicle and so on, and get into other issues. I think those are issues that we have to confront and say frontally. Now, the other extreme of that around restriction is where you have children who can be exposed and can manipulate the device perhaps even better than we can as adults, because that's their kind of era, and are therefore able to access how to make guns, access lewd sceneries that could be devastating, access how to create AI, access how to bully, or indeed become the victims of bullying. And I think that from that perspective, parental guidance should be applied. And indeed, as a society, we may have to consider some of those in a more formalized way. So I know it's not the answer you're looking for, but in other words, it's a mix.
JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.